Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sriyaya. Joining me today, as always, Professor R. Vaidyanathan, and we are going to go back to 1948, the last article that appeared in Harijan, where Mahatma Gandhi had said that Congress should be split up. Well, let's welcome Professor R.V. Namaskar, sir. How are you?
Namaskaram. Vanakkam. Thank you very much. Today we would take up the topic, very important topic, Mahatma Gandhi, M K Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, I am stressing because there are too many Gandhis floating around in this country. So whenever I say Gandhi, you might mistake. The original Gandhi, you may call it. He actually suggested in an article which he wrote on 29th, he was shot on 30th January. This January mark is there in Delhi. 29th, he seems to have written, suggesting it is time for Congress to consider to dissolve itself and become a social service organization, because he feared that post-independent, that time we were independent, but there were a lot of things to be done. He feared that Congress could become a party with a lot of ambitions, and then corruption will come in and all the things. But next day he was assassinated, and this article was published 1 week later, that is in the month of February, in his that time Harijan it is called. Nowadays that word is not used. It is supposed to be not a correct word according to this Kanshiram and others. Anyhow, it was published. It is also considered as his last will and testament. But as you know, history, many Congress leaders did not agree with that. The party continued, and it contested election in 52, then 57, then 62, and it went on. Point is, Gandhi had a sort of a premonition that the political role of Congress is to end. It should go into social role in terms of Harijan welfare, in terms of women upliftment, so many areas and other things. Anyhow, that didn't take place. Then Congress party throughout the 50s and 60s functioned under Nehru till his demise in 63. And it went on after that also. And it had its very interesting characteristic in those days. Every state had a state satrap. Atulya Ghosh in West Bengal, S K Patel in Maharashtra, then your Morarji Desai in Gujarat, Kamaraj in Tamil Nadu, Nijalingappa in Karnataka, like that. Every state had its own leader, and all these put together were actually running the Congress at the state level. At the central level, of course, it was Nehru. But there is no concept of only High Command should decide or anything like that. Most of the state requirements were met at the state level itself. Like Kamaraj used to decide for Tamil Nadu, Atulya Ghosh for West Bengal, like this. But somewhere along the line, this system was not appreciated. When Indira Gandhi took over in 67, she wanted to centralize the party. And this one of the suggestions given by K.R. Ganesh, and K.R. Ganesh prepared an approach paper for revitalizing the party. K.R. Ganesh, some of you may remember, was in the Ministry of Finance, number 2, and he's from actually Andaman. He was a CPI cardholder, and CPI had a policy of working inside the Congress. So Congress had one set of people, Mohan Kumar Mangalam, K.R. Ganesh, and a couple of others who were inside the Congress, but who wanted to revitalize it. While the other group, Mohan Daria, Chandrasekhar, Madalimai, and others were socialist group. They were not very enthusiastic about this centralization policies. Anyhow, Chandrasekhar was in the Congress Working Committee, Central Working Committee, but he was not enthusiastic, so Mohandari also. But somehow Indira Gandhi was fascinated by this idea of central, and slowly all the state satraps were cut to size. They were not, of course, Dayon like Bidhan Chandra Ray passed away in West Bengal. After that, Atulya Ghosh was ruling the roost. She began to get more centralized power in terms of decision making, as well as in terms of removing governments and appointing governors. She was not taking into account, and all these people, Nijalingappa, Kamaraj, and others, were given a acronym called syndicate, and so she has to fight the syndicate. So this started in '67 itself, and there was a huge controversy regarding who should be the new president of India. She actually signed for Sanjeev Reddy the nomination papers, but later she told that you use your conscience and vote for VV Giri indirectly, and VV Giri actually won the election. So that started so the syndicate were sidelined in a sense after 68, and it became a centralized party. That means Indira Gandhi, along with her advisors, would be the primary decision maker in the party, and people like Chandrasekhar and others who were in the Congress Working Committee, they were sidelined. So also Morarji Desai, and so this did not augur well for the party. I would say this is the beginning of the decline of the Congress party. Quite a number of people got disillusioned with this type of centralization. Anyhow, after that, emergency came and all this, so many type of formations were there. And then VP Singh, and she was unfortunately assassinated. And then Rajiv Gandhi took over. It did not work out well for him also. He had his revolt from VP Singh. VP Singh, tactfully used this Mandal recommendation in order to implement to become a messiah of the backward caste. And then he had a small grip over the position. After that, it was chaos actually. Throughout the 90s, you had so many type of government, so many prime ministers like Devagowda, Inder Gujral, all very short-term prime ministers. They all went away. But the party got very weakened in the process because it was highly centralized and not able to win polls. Around 2001, when the Vajpayee government came into existence, they were really stunned actually. This was the first time when an alternative to Congress came to power with the full majority. Earlier, Vajpayee had a 13-day government and 13-month government and all that was over. He got into a proper government. The only mistake they made was in over enthusiasm, they called election a bit early, and then they got defeated in 2004. And it went up to 2009. It's a very interesting thing. And 2009 to 2014 also, they were able to win. So this is but that time it was a coalition of all these small groups and parties, which was arranged. And there was a time in the first, they were called, United Front government. The first UF government, it was told that the government is decided from Gopalapuram and Alimuddin Street. That used to be proudly proclaimed. Gopalapuram is the residence of Karunanidhi. Alimuddin Street is the headquarters of CPIM at Calcutta. So, and the second UPA government, when it came into existence, very interestingly, Karunanidhi announced from his residence at Gopalapuram who will be the minister from his party. He also announced the department. This is something which is unheard of. Normally, the prime minister is expected to have the power. So that used to be the nature of so the Congress dependency on these regional parties began to increase. That is something which we have to remember. Slowly it got eroded in many places. Places like, for instance, if you take major states, West Bengal, Bihar, UP, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu, these five states, roughly 230 to 240, they have the MPs. In all the states, Congress dependency on others increased. Except Maharashtra, in all other states, they are not able to manage their affairs. To the extent now, recently you saw in Bihar, it has become six number of MLAs only. Very unfortunate, but that's. And in Tamil Nadu, everybody knows they are totally dependent on DMK. Whatever number of seats is allotted, they have to accept it. And so UP, of course, their position is extremely weak, and so also in this what one can call Tamil Nadu. So now, what is the situation? It is become extremely difficult as a centralized party to function. It's a family controlled party. Let's be very blunt about it. Yesterday, Karge was telling, High Command will decide. So one reporter reminded him that you are the High Command, you are the president of the party. He told, no, 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 High Command will. So, it's a very crystal clear. Position is given to somebody, power is wielded by 10 Janpat. So the family's ability to run the party is getting increasingly questioned. It's weakened actually. For instance, if you go back in time, during Rajiv Gandhi time, Congress had something like 2000 and odd, what one can call, you can see there, 2053 MLAs in 1974. And it got reduced to 1877 to 727. And currently they have only 640 MLAs out of 4126 seats. This is something very drastic. It's it represents only 15% of India's MLAs. So you cannot. They say LOP and other thing, but it is a decline in legislative presence is very, very drastic. This is the position, and out of this actually, Karnataka alone contributes 140 out of 640. So that 140 goes away. Suppose you want to remove it, it is only 500 MLA. This shows the crisis in the party. It's a very existential crisis. So it is required for the party to reinvigorate or rejuvenate. The first step is for the family to give up control of the party. It is for the others to develop. We require an all India party. Let's be very clear. If we had come with till and oil, tail for doing the the last rites of Congress, kindly bear with me. I am not for that. I am not for Congress Mukt Bharat. We require a political party, political formation, and whatever said and done, every state's Congress has got some couple of thousands of ardent and sincere followers. Some of them might have left, some of them have gone to, actually, some of them have gone to BJP also. It's quite possible, some of the senior, because BJP has appropriated a lot of Congress symbols like Sardar Vallabh Patel. One can go on listing. Lot of Congress thing they have taken over or appropriated. So we require a national party, and we require slightly left of center party. Of course, some people say BJP is right of center. I am not in full agreement with that, because I don't think BJP can easily be classified as left or right. They are like your Tajur doll, which moves in any direction depending upon where the power will be. So that's not the issue. We require a party, and I am sure quite a large number of RSS people also would agree with me that we require an all India level party where RSS can play an important role. Let me make it very clear. It is not required only with the BJP. They can, technically speaking, you can be an RSS member as well as being a Congress supporter. There is nothing intrinsically wrong about it or anything. So we have to be very clear. It may take a couple of years. It's not going to be an easy task because the middle level and senior leaders have all been associated only with the family, only with the, and they all seriously, some of them seriously think the family is the glue to the party. This is the word used by one of the chief ministers of Israel, Madhya Pradesh. Not required. A glue can be created, not necessarily in that fashion, by ideas and by actions. So, Congress leaders, there are quite a number of leaders in Congress. There is not, you have Rajasthan ex chief minister, you have ex chief minister of this Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat. If you look at it, very interesting. There were quite a number of other smaller parties in these states. Many of you may not even remember. In Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and others, socialist parties, very strong. And in some, for instance, in Rajasthan, Ganganagar, communist always used to win. A very, significant presence was there. And similarly, some of you may not even remember the Ram Janam Bhoomi, what is called now, CPI leader Chaturangnan Mishra used to be winning election continuously for a long period of time. So there were many clusters in which these leaders were there, but all of them have now gone. Now it is between Congress and BJP. This is something very interesting. That is why they say BJP has a knack of swallowing all these smaller parties over a period of time, not necessarily tomorrow. That is why they are alerting JDU and others to be careful. That's a separate story. But the issue is we require a national party and it cannot be run by the Sonia family. And that has been established very clearly. Some statistics says 95 polls he has lost. I do not know how much it is factual. Anyhow, assuming he has been launched 95 times and all the times the launch has failed, and I think he is also not very interested. He's not a full-time political leader. He goes to US, he goes to Vietnam, he goes to Thailand, he comes back, and all these uh, complications he is indulging in. And his sister is, if you ask me frankly, much worse than him in terms of. She gave a recently one talk which I was listening. She said, "What jobs Ambani and Adani has given in India? They have not given any job." I think either she is arrogant or blatantly lying or totally ignorant. Whatever you can blame Ambani and Adani, they have provided a lot of jobs in terms of ports, in terms of manufacturing facilities. Anyhow, the family is not in a position to control. One. Second is the funding is getting drained. I was told by one of the senior Congress leader that they are insisting Karnataka and this Telangana contribute significantly for the Bihar polls for Congress. Earlier, Congress used to collect from aspirants. Today, they are not able to do that. So there is a huge crisis in terms of financing of the party also, and it requires huge amount of money. One Chota ADMK member long time before told me, every day, sir, we require at least 6 to 10 lakhs every day in order to run the machine. That is in order to open, these small mandrams, put newspapers there, and provide a tea, chai, and other thing free to the members, or organize some small meetings where we have to erect the dice, put the mic, all these things. So if a small party, yes, state level party, some 10-15 years before I am recollecting, require something like 6 to 10 lakh per day. You can imagine a party like Congress how much it would require. So that is another major issue. So the family is not in a position to deliver, and unless you get what one can call winning in the polls, funding is not going to come. Winning is important. This one or two polls you may lose, but you should win later. In order to, then only it is assumed that you can provide some benefits to your well-wishers and others. So the Congress should seriously think in terms of alternate leadership, less dependence on regional satraps. These regional leaders are all family based parties. All of them are in crisis, let me tell you. BRS daughter is not with the group and checked out. Then we have this Anbumani Ramadas. The PMK is in deep trouble. Son and father fight. And daughter and brother fight in Bihar after the poll, which is openly coming out. Every family is having their own difficulties, their own problems and issues. Obviously, when you lose, then there are more tussles than when you win. So the Congress should remember this. So it cannot depend on these regional satraps. Anything more, it has to rebuild. It may take 4 5 years. It may not. It need not even participate in actively in elections. It can rebuild the party in every state, every district, and every village and every taluk. The Congress, and it has a huge corpus of literature starting with 1885. So it has a huge heritage and background. There is no need for it to search for roots or anything. So this is the important thing which they should consider. Senior leaders should take it up. It is not required that it is only the the so-called Sonia family which should run the show. This is most important. Other second-rank leaders from state should assert, come together, build it. Maybe it may take 4 5 years or 6 years or any number of years. It doesn't matter. Congress is not something which was built in one day or anything. It has a 130 plus history. So they should remember. So that is what my suggestion would be. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Congress starts with the letter C. Corruption starts with the letter C. Conspiracy starts with the letter C. Chori starts with the letter C. Sir, one big thing has to happen before Congress can reinvent itself. I've explained that in this book. See, I don't know if you had a chance to read this book, sir. I've
Yes.
explained in this book. One event
Yeah.
has to happen that will start this whole process going, and that event hasn't happened yet. And you have to read the book to understand what that event is. Anyway, let's take some questions now, sir. Dharani Rohit wants to know, since Congress is surviving on Khan's grace, do we see the first family getting dismantled further in Indian politics? And Italian is bound to hot the final nail. I don't know what hot is, for a party founded by the British.
Khan's grace, I am not understanding. Anyhow.
Congress, Khan's grace. They're just trying to do a play on words, sir.
Oh, okay. The only thing is, I
Khan means
always
they're
mention,
Muslim. See, also think of it like Khan means Muslim.
I always mention, even in my tweets, I have mentioned a declining system or a declining political party is very dangerous. So, sometime what you read or you listen to Rahul Gandhi is extremely bitter. He is very, angry. So because he doesn't realize he doesn't have enough credibility. Many of the accusation he is making could be true, but people are not taking him seriously. The younger generation is not with him. He is thinking in terms of leading them. So there is a danger, and so it's not very easy for Congress to get dissolved or dissipated. Let's see what type of fight will start and how the family control will be removed.
Sundar Kidambi wants to know, why is Congress still not able to digest the legacy of Narasimha Rao? He was one of the best PMs we ever had.
You can always go on telling he ignored Sonia Gandhi. That's a fundamental thing. He didn't listen to any of her advice. He didn't behave like Manmohan Singh. In the sense, he was the actual prime minister. He didn't make her PM and him as a sort of a courier. That is the reason they will never digest his legacy. Next.
So she used to have people like Makhanlal Photedar who will come and start making noise in the cabinet. And next opportunity, he was out. Then there was this guy called Arjun Singh who had dreams of starting his own party. And once then somewhere something happened, and I think there was some kachamacha. And he left out and he started his own party, but then he died before he could do much with that. Then the third person who was challenging him was Sharad Pawar. When 1993 riots broke out, I think this is what I've been told, and this has not come to the official news. There was a hand of power in this whole thing. It was a fight between Pawar and Dawood Ibrahim on who controls Bombay, this city. And Narasimha Rao has told, look, this is your base. If you don't go back and set it right, then you don't have a future in politics. That's why he went back to Maharashtra as chief minister. He was the defense minister in Narasimha Rao's government. I can tell you a lot of stories, viewers. None of these things will ever see the newspapers. But Narasimha Rao knew everybody. He had everybody's, what do you call kudmi in Hindi, sir? he knew how to fix all these people. And he had a good friend of his who was the home minister, Balwant Rao Shankar Rao Chauhan, something like that. Shankar SB Chauhan. Shankar Rao Balwant Rao Chauhan. He's a good person. They were both Sishyas of one guru called Narayana Tirtha. Narayana Tirtha had 3 Sishyas who all went on to become chief ministers in their respective states. Narasimha Rao, SB Chauhan, and Ashok Patel in Karnataka. Ashok Patel is some Patil. So let's go to the next question. Sir, Professor RB, what do you think of a scenario where Shashi Tharoor is becoming a Congress leader? Can he challenge NDA?
No, he can, he did try. I think you may remember last time for the Congress president's election, he was one of the candidates. He opposed the Congress president election opposite to Karge. He got some 80-85 votes. He is not very small, but not very large enough to. But I have my doubts about him being a main force. It has to be a collective leadership. Along with Shashi Tharoor, you cannot have again, let me repeat, one Indira Gandhi type of a system in Congress. You might have a syndicate type of a system in Congress. Okay?
Tharoor has got his highfalutin English that might impress some of the educated people. He can't go and connect with the masses in India. Not even close. He will not be able to win outside Thiruvananthapuram. Forget about anything else. Go to Wayanad. Maybe Wayanad, because they hate Hindus so much, they might vote for him. I mean, there are irrational reasons that people use to vote when they vote. And what can I say? People are dumb. I'm sorry to say not all, but there are irrational reasons why you are voting. Next one, please. Sai Raghavan wants to know, sir, why do you have to do this show when non-leadership itself is, when leadership, is hell-bent on shooting its own foot? It's anyway getting dissolved by itself. Why waste time on this?
No. You see, you are mistaking. Congress is not something like, day before yesterday party. That's very important to remember and realize. It has got an history of 140 plus. So, yes, and it has its own ideology, it has its own background, and it could be currently, controlled by Koteri or whatever you call it. I don't think it is end of the party or anything. Somewhere or other, it would get rejuvenated. I am very sure about it. Okay?
But there's a natural leader who's available, sir. These people have to wake up and smell the coffee. It's not the family. Next one. Ankit wants to know, is it good for India if we allow BJP and Congress to swallow up small parties? I don't think so. Your opinion on this?
You see, the smaller parties, almost all of them in India today are family based. That is the problem. and their ability to, stand up against national parties is very,
With the
very.
exception of ADMK and CPM, sir, maybe.
CPM is, where is CPM? I am
No,
also trying
I
to
know, I know.
locate it.
Same thing with the ADMK also, right? I mean, just opposition
So
party in one state.
it's not
Yeah.
so
At the
it's not
national
very
level, no. Yeah.
it's not very easy for these family-based parties to, control or dictate, because many of them are involved in shady activities, and they can be blackmailed. That is the problem. Okay.
What do you mean many, sir? What do you mean many? Define many, sir. Is it a number between 0 to 100%? What would you define as a value for many? Yeah, I'm just joking, sir. Don't take it seriously. Sir, that brings us to a close of today's program. Thank you so much. I hope you like this new format. We are bringing it to you in portrait and landscape mode. And please, as always, send us your comments. It's a pleasure to have Professor RV come and address our audience. And he's going to be available more frequently. And I have sort of told him that 8 p.m. slot, whenever it opens up, be ready. We will have you in case a regular guest is otherwise preoccupied. So Professor RV has kindly consented to that. Thank you once again, sir. Always good pleasure having you on our channel. Namaskar.